Hey everyone, it's Em of Two Girls Shooting the Shit with Em and Mo. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode, Who Has Our Back? In this episode, Mo and I talk about Nury Martinez, the, ex-president of the LA City Council, and how she was caught making racist comments on a hot mic. Sucks for her. Listen in, and we discuss the dynamics between the Black community and other communities of color, generational messiness, trauma, curses, all that stuff. And then we daydream for a bit about Mo's commune and how amazing it'll be to get away. As always, join us on Instagram Live Tuesday nights, 5:30 p.m. Pacific and 8:30 p.m. Eastern, where we talk about our latest episodes and just shoot the shit for a while.
But it just, to me, it's like, who's showing up for Black people besides Black people? Hey, Mo.
Hey, girl.
How you doing?
All right. How you doing?
I'm
Please
good.
excuse the noise.
You got a new baby over there, huh?
Ripping and running.
Mo's a mama again.
Be cute. What is that? You okay? That's a Coke look.
Well, I think because today we're talking about something that's, there's a lot of stuff that's brought us to this topic that's been in the news. Just a lot of hey. Yeah, and we hate to talk about it, but it's also something we feel kind of therapeutic, and I feel getting things off my chest and talking with somebody who can, have a conversation with me without it being combative or without it being overly emotional, because we already understand the emotions underlying it. So it's easier to talk to you, I feel like, than anybody else about it. Maybe my dad, but yeah, there's just a lot of ugly news.
So much for being upbeat for the season.
No, we ain't. Until life gets upbeat.
We tried it.
I don't know. Yeah, we tried it. We tried that little sexy. And y'all ain't helping us with topic suggestions, so you got to hear about us complain about life.
Exactly.
But there were two things that happened recently with regard to race, the treatment of Blacks in America versus other minorities, I guess you'd say. We're not going to go too deep into whatever. I don't know the whole background, but I saw Jamie Lee Curtis on a TikTok talking about she woke up wanted to just bawling or whatever over a statement that was anti-Semitic made by whoever. But I feel some type of way because I think anti-Semitism is disgusting. I think any hatred based off of something so I don't know, off your race or off something, you can't change religion, about. Culture, right. That's why are we hating people anyways? But for her to have woken up, is she Jewish?
I guess she said something about her grandparents, so I'm guessing so.
Okay, I didn't watch the whole thing, so that's why I don't know. And I was like, I don't think she's Jewish, right? I don't know. But for her to have such a physical reaction, unless she's just trying to be, acting or, fronting or whatever. But to have such a reaction to a statement a moron made, whereas there's people who are literally being shot to death in their homes.
Where's the outrage on that?
That's what I'm saying, is I feel like there is no support still. Especially, and I'm tying this into I think everybody's heard about the racist comments that I think it's Nury, is her name Nury?
Nury or something like
Nury
Martinez or something.
Yes.
Stankin' ass.
Out of the LA City Council president.
Yeah.
Yes. And there was a hot mic. She probably didn't know about it, but you can hear what she has to say, talking about little Black babies like they're monkeys and, not supporting people because they're for the Blacks or whatever.
Right.
And it's just,
I wonder what that is.
But it just, to me, it's like, who's showing up for Black people besides Black people? All the stuff historically, civil rights movement, you had Malcolm X, you had Martin Luther King Jr., you had the Black Panthers, you have literally Black people protesting and speaking out about things that are unfair for all minorities, right? All minorities benefit from this work that Black people do, yet who's showing up? But who's showing up for Black people?
No,
You know, if
bye.
Jamie Lee Curtis trying to throw up in the morning because somebody said something about Jewish people, like who's throwing up for
And people getting
Breonna
shot.
Taylor? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like who's throwing up for them? And I sent you a text and I was like, it feels like slavery. It feels like you are benefiting from the work of Black people, of Black civil rights activists, of Black Lives Matter, of the policies that come from Black labor. You are benefiting from that.
And Black labor.
Yeah, and Black labor. You are benefiting from that. Other POC. There's a love-hate relationship with that term, whatever. Yeah. Other people of color. But when it comes time for payment in the form of loyalty, in the form of defense, in the form of respect, you're not there to pay the bill. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels real slavery-ish.
And then there's conflict. They have the Black and Asian, Stop Asian Hate thing going on.
What? How did that start?
This Black and
what
Hispanic
was that?
thing. I don't know. I feel like, did it start with the shooting with the orange juice back in LA back in the 90s?
Damn, that was a long time ago though.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Just the narrative. Are they picking and choosing what they show? Like, you know, like, I don't know. Like, I have no idea.
It just feels nasty. Like being used almost. And then at any chance you have to create distance between your community and the Black community, you do, because there's everybody knows the stigma, the stereotypes associated with the Black community, and they don't want that.
And then American, and it's right, the Black American community, because the diaspora doesn't want nothing to do with us either.
And nobody does.
From West Africa, for instance, say, you know, they look down on Black people from America. You see Dominican people say, Black, I'm Dominican. You know, Brazil has like 100 different ways to say Black. It's just all these different things, because people don't want to like distance themselves from the Black American. But then we, number one, people used to sell stuff. Like, I don't have any data or anything, but I'm just saying, from looking at TV and pop culture and everything. We're the culture. We're the culture. We're the mascots of the USA.
But you know what? That's the sad thing, is I feel like all Black people in America have is their culture. There's no history.
But it's not even a rich. I mean, it's not even a rich culture. That sounds controversial, because what is the culture? There's no unique.
There's music. I mean, because it's all been taken.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Yeah.
But that's all. I feel like that's all Black people have to hold on to, in the sense that many cannot trace history, genealogy, all of that kind of stuff. There is a shared, and this is, you know, stay tuned. We're going to be talking about generational trauma, et cetera. But this is a shared trauma that every Black American descendant from slaves, because there is a difference. If you came here, like Kamala's dad came here, she probably did. I don't know if she's feeling that trauma. I really don't. But if you know that your family,
I don't know what she's feeling.
I don't know what she's feeling. But if you know your family was once enslaved here, there is a trauma. And this is something I've had a hard time explaining to my husband, to people who do not get that, don't have that in their life. There is a pain. There are certain things, you know, because I've been asked, you know, well, such and such has never happened to you. I said, yeah, but looking at my dad, I love my father, knowing what he had to go through in the civil rights era, dealing with Jim Crow, all the separation, disrespect, being spit on, being treated a certain kind of way. I feel that, you know what I mean? Like, I feel that for a man that I love, and to know that is your history, those things. So it's, you know, I don't know if I'm even communicating what I'm feeling properly, but it feels like a very, I feel disrespected, not personally, but just like in a larger sense, by other minorities who have the fucking nerve, right, to benefit from desegregated schools and ESL programs and all these kinds of things that you would not have had it not been for Black people. And you have the nerve on a hot mic to be talking about beautiful Black babies, calling them monkeys, like white people do, like white people have been known to do, right? So it's, again, trying to one up. I'm not you.
And then they always want us to be I don't know who they is, but we always.
And these are all obviously, we always make the disclaimer, these are generalities. I don't know every single Latinx person, Latino,
Exactly.
Hispanic, whatever, however you want to be identified, person. I don't know, you know, whatever. But this is got me hot.
Right. And it's like, come on. First of all, one, why is it when there's an issue comes up, we are always fighting everybody else? Why are we fighting everybody else fight? Nobody's fighting our fight. Like, we need to worry about ourselves and stop fighting everybody else's fight. Like, Black women, I think it was, who was it, Broken Traditions, or somebody did a segment on how Black women are the new face of the trans movement. And it's like, okay, that's fine. But where are the people standing up for Black people? And not taking advantage, not trying to make money and get monetized.
Using you as your poster child. Again, like you said, advertising and all that. It's Black people selling stuff. Mm-hmm. It's benefiting off the labor of, you know, knowing they're not being fairly compensated, probably as white actors. And it's a whole ugh. And then to have somebody, you know, a brown person, whatever, however she wants to identify herself, whatever,
an elected
to be talking official like that with Black constituents.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
can you imagine if you Black and voted for her? Ooh, child.
She needs to step down. Even Biden's calling for her to step down. Like, she need to go somewhere.
Yeah, it's bad. It's so funny because stuff gets on TikTok and stuff before it gets on the news.
I love it. That's why I've been watching all these TikToks, because I don't see it anywhere else.
I'll download it tomorrow.
Get back on that TikTok.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of foolishness on there, but there's a lot of people giving good viewpoints that I would not otherwise be exposed to, that make me think and grapple with things a little deeper, whether I agree with them or not. Like, just to hear what other people have to say about these current topics. And it's not the echo chamber. You know, we always talk about that. Like, you get the Stitch videos, and then you're like, oh, what is this? And so I go and see what that person had to say, you know, and you're just getting a different perspective.
I like when it says incoming Stitch. So
because sometimes I'm like, what is this? What is this? Do not
exactly. Like, I don't want to, or like, why is this person posting this? What the?
Like, what happened? Yeah, they got to put that warning up there before they lose followers and what have you.
Right?
Yeah, I just, it just put me in a funk. To hear that she was saying these things, because I have always, and maybe I'm naive, but I have always, like, growing up, I grew up very few Black people around me. I grew up in Southern California, mostly white and Hispanic people. My best friends for my whole life have been Latina. So it's weird to hear this. Not weird, because I do understand the racism, the colorism within that community, but to hear this so, like, easily spoken in a workplace too is just disgusting to me. Like, it feels
I knew
like
about
betrayal.
Nah, because I lived in Texas, and so when we first moved to Texas, I was at my grandmother's, and the school I went to had race wars, basically. So we'd get out of school early because the Blacks and Hispanics would be fighting each other.
Really?
Yeah, I was only there for a couple of weeks, thank God, but that was enough. I mean, I was fine with getting out of school early, but it's like, this is chaos.
I feel like that's a different time too. The 90s. I feel like there was a lot of gang activity in the 90s. I don't know what today. I'm so out of touch with that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they're killing each other still.
Yeah, like, have we just accepted gang activity or whatever? But I feel like the 90s, it was really prevalent. And there were Black gangs, there were, like, Mexican gangs, there were all kind of Asian gangs. I mean, I don't know if people, you know, knew about, you know, all that kind of stuff, but this is like a profession. You are an elected official, which isn't surprising, right? But you're a female, or I don't know when I can use the term female, because I've been seeing stuff about,
we know what you mean,
the negative terms of that too, though, and I'm trying to be mindful. But, like, you are a woman
these days.
Yeah, but you're a woman, and you are a woman, quote unquote, of color, and to be speaking like this in mixed company, not that should matter, or just,
and they were co-signing on it. They were saying they should step down too. Because at first, come on now, like, we're human beings, and first of all, California is a two-way consent state, so that had to be, so they were in a place where they knew they were being recorded at some point, just didn't know it was still
they were in a workplace. Isn't it the workplace?
Oh, I don't know the location.
It just says behind closed doors.
Yeah, so the way she was talking, I mean, it's not that, it wasn't too bad, because I can see some people saying, oh, that kid was wild, now I would have whipped his butt. But to call
Yeah.
them monkeys and stuff, and then they're
Those
making
are
fun of their
very
own
racially
people,
charged. Yeah.
indigenous people.
Yep.
And that came out like on Indigenous People.
And they were
like, how
talking
messed up is
about like
that?
short, dark people in Koreatown,
Yeah,
speaking about
indigenous, yeah,
different tribes or whatever people from Mexico.
yeah.
And it's,
They
and you know
talk
what?
about
I'm
their
not,
own people at that point.
but I feel like I'm not completely ignorant. I mean, I do understand within groups, Black people talk about different other
Mhm.
subgroups of Black, you know, Asians definitely do that. Hispanics definitely do that. Like, I know that. And I am not trying to police or say you can't say what you say with your family, with your, I mean, whatever your belief system, whatever. You are in a work environment, you are an elected official, and in that capacity, you have a certain standard, I feel like. And I feel like we're just letting it all out. And until
Right? Donald
there's
Trump.
repercussions, yes, until there's repercussions though, it's okay, I guess, to be doing all this.
I feel like let it out. I feel like let it out from the beginning. Stop being fake. I thought
let us
Donald
know.
Trump helped cure that, to show you can still get elected. You can say grab them by the puss and still get elected. You know,
That's
call them
wild.
little monkeys
That's
and still
wild.
get elected. But
That's wild.
people still want to try to put on a front. And then they were also talking about something that sounded like manipulation, like gerrymandering or something like that.
Oh
If you
yeah,
heard-
the vote. Yep.
yeah. So I'm like, what crimes can they be accused of? Like, I'm like, this
Conspiracy. Are they making a plan? Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
I kind of see a difference between the example of Trump and this here. And I don't, maybe it's my naivete, whatever, or just I have better, higher expectations for other minorities to be speaking in this way. Like I mean, with the history and the experience as but just thinking, like, again, bringing it back to the first point when we first started talking, is like, nobody has any interest in Black people unless they can profit off of you in some way, right?
But
who's got Black people's back?
A lot of Black people don't have Black people's back, and I think
that's whack.
Therein lies the problem.
That's that self-hate you were talking about.
That
have you spitting up all over my computer, Lord.
That's self-hatred. And so it's kind of like they talk about people, like, if you don't love yourself, who's gonna love you? It's like, are Black people broken? Are we doomed? Like, Black Americans, are we doomed? It kind of feels that way. Honestly, don't see a way out. I know we have a lot of progress we've made, but the abuse keeps happening, the murders,
that trauma.
the Karens. Like, there's always something, and people dying, dropping like flies, these young men, people shooting up schools, killing each other, beating these women just for saying no to a flirtation.
Or losing a basketball game.
Losing a basketball
Remember
game.
that? Oh, you brought that up, I think.
Insane. Best friends playing basketball. And 21, I think they were. And the guy lost.
Sad.
And goes,
that's not, I'm thinking
her.
love and basketball. That ain't no love and basketball.
The fragile ego. Ain't that some shit? I said, ain't that some shit? Oh, ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Goddamn. When the Nury Martinez news first came out, my first thought was, oh, this is probably no big deal. We all do it. We all talk about people having no home training. Oh, look, you let the kids go wild. But I think where it got offensive was calling the child a monkey, or comparing the child to a monkey, and then also saying with the Blacks. That was objectifying, otherizing, and obviously meant to be demeaning. And so, as you all know, Nury Martinez has since stepped down. Good riddance, goodbye. But this brings us back to who has the Black people's back. Every time there's an issue, whether it be trans rights, anti-Semitism, queer LGBT rights, the hijab incident in Iran, we see people of color, especially Black women, caping for everyone. But who's caping for us?
But I feel like it would be so healing and so good to have a national which will never happen, a national conversation about all of this, because what you're mentioning isn't just black, white, it's
Let's do
also
it. How we gonna do
male,
it?
female.
The
It's always
TGSTS national conversation.
I mean, maybe we get some sampling of people from different walks of life and have conversations. I mean, we do that a lot on our lives. I feel like we get a good cross section of people. And I feel like it is a safe space where people with differing viewpoints do come in from time to time and share their viewpoint, and we're respectful about it. Because I think that until you understand other people's experiences and hear their stories, you still may not give a shit, and I'm aware of that. But it's also, how do you know if you've never heard about it or seen it or have known someone personally for you to feel empathy for that person? Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like that's there is no empathy. There is no, it's all, again, transactional. Like
I was talking to somebody about that. It doesn't make any sense, because Black people, I feel like we have to have empathy for everyone without even seeing it. And that's how I grew up, at least. It's like, I don't have to be you. I see you. I don't know you to care. But that's how a lot of people operate. It's like, oh, I don't know the F you, die.
Not my problem. Not my problem. Yeah, not my problem.
People are
until it's your problem. That's the dumb part about it. Like, it's not your problem now. It will be. I don't know.
Then you're gonna come crying to us. That's what I can't stand. And I step back. I used to be that Black woman always helping. Pay attention when you're out. If something happens, there's a conflict or something, there's always a Black woman. I'm obviously making generalization. There's a Black woman gonna come to the rescue, gonna stand up for somebody. Always. And it's like, why? Who's standing up for you?
But the solution, but I feel like the solution isn't to stop caring, to stop taking care of others, to stop giving of yourself in that way. I don't feel like that's the solution, because then we're giving into the bullshit. Then what's the point anymore? Do you know what I mean? When you literally stop caring about your neighbor, about your person next to you, not giving a shit about what's going on in their lives, what are we then? What have we become?
Start a community group. I tried to start a community group with my neighbors, and a few people joined. I think we have maybe 10, but nobody is active. I've sent a few messages, and just trying.
What are you trying to do?
Trying to build community. Trying to like know who your neighbors are. Have people around you who you know about, you care about, you support. Have events, like just build a community, and it's so hard to do. We live in such a fearful and selfish society,
and we're separated. Like technology, I always talk about this, but we're separated. And like I went, my husband and I went to have wine and like appetizers at our neighbor's house.
Huge.
It was wonderful, and it made me feel so, like, I can't even express, like, just that I haven't felt that in a long time. Like just being welcomed into somebody's home. They're retired. They're in their 60s. They're white. Aww. They invited us, showed that they were so proud of their house. They were showing, the artwork they've collected over the years. We had conversation, and they are lonely. They have said, well, we want to create a neighborly we would love to be, if you need us, we're here. And it was just a beautiful feeling of people coming together. And the wife said to me, how do you plan? They were very intentional about the things how do you plan on meeting people in this community? And I was like, damn, because they're trying to do that. And, and just sharing that, like, how do we get off our phones, get into the street, go to neighbors, talk to them, say hi, wave, put yourself out there.
I threw flyers in people's mailboxes.
That's good. And people responded. They may not be active, but they've responded enough to just say, hey, I'm interested. But it takes somebody like you, or like somebody like my neighbors, to do that, to bring people out of their comfort of their home, the comfort of their phone, the comfort of this gap, this separation, to bring us back into human interaction, to hugs, to like sharing wine and having conversation and truly knowing each other. And maybe that's the problem with race in this situation, is you live side by side, but do you know each other? Like, does Nuri know Black people? Or is she gonna sit here and just talk shit? Like, do you know I mean, I don't think people know each other. They hear about each other. They don't know each other.
And that's what's sad, especially like in a gentrified area like where I am. It's like you're living on top of each other and still don't know each other. Like, how disgusting is that?
And how unsafe does that feel?
Right?
Like, you want to be seen and known, you know, because there's safety in that.
Mhm.
It's scary because you're like, don't come steal my shit. Don't know me too well, but know me enough to care about me, to have my back.
Yeah.
Damn. Commune.
I swear one day I'm gonna have this commune. I got to start thinking about it. Baby steps.
Start making them flyers. Yeah.
And the background check. Everyone is not welcome to my commune.
You got to pass this 5-step test, the vibe check, the credit
the
check.
vibe check is yeah.
Credit check. Ooh, the soul check. What's your soul doing?
Mhm.
Ooh.
You messy, you petty, you stank, you got low vibrational energy. We don't want it.
What's your communication style?
Mhm.
Emotional intelligence.
Oof.
All that.
Mhm.
And then somebody got to be a therapist up in there. You need to have just to have
the community
group
therapists, have the
therapy.
community
Yes.
shared meals. Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
I love that.
Gotta find the people. That's the biggest part. Gotta sift through all the assholes out here. Because people are people are kind. I feel like all this stuff comes from fear of something, and I don't know what it is.
When you talk about like generational like trauma, generational, I've seen stuff, videos. We've had conversations about how
the body,
things that your ancestors have been through, you can feel like genetically, allergies, things get passed to DNA.
Isn't that crazy?
I wonder if that's what it is. The fight in Black people is like inescapable. Do you know what I mean? Like, if something's not right, Black people will always speak up. I have experience. And I wonder if, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to look at that with respect to different ethnicities, different minority groups. I don't know. And we started off talking about anti-Semitism, and I'm trying to, I don't know that I understand the Jewish community as well. Like, I don't know, for the most part,
but look how long they've been going through stuff. Yeah.
I mean, they've been going through stuff since biblical times. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know, are they as vocal?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Really? Like, I don't know enough. I'm just claiming ignorance completely here. I don't know about their, like after the shooting, was it in Philly? The synagogue?
Probably, no. I mean,
that's in Pennsylvania. In different places. What happened?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Or does their speaking up look different than what, Black people will take to the streets? Black people will show up politically, and they will make you look at us. You are going to hear us, because any other way probably doesn't work. But what do other groups do? What do Asian, all this violence against the AAPI, like what were they doing?
They already have anti-hate. I think they do stuff more in the backgrounds, like
that's what I'm wondering. Like, what is their protest? What is their speaking up, stepping
up? The marketplace and stuff
look like?
Yeah. That's why people always want Black people to boycott the market, because we buy so much stuff because of the low self-esteem. Like, that's what I think. Like the materialism, like wanting to.
Yeah, you said Black women are the top spenders. You said that
they were. Yeah, I don't know if that statistic still holds, but they were at one point the top spenders. And it's like, you're spending to find things of value to make yourself valuable. Yeah.
Status.
But it doesn't work like that. Yeah. From the status, you're not being seen as a human being.
That's sad. I feel like that's a whole nother topic, because we talked about the manosphere, especially Black men speaking about dating white women only, and the step they take to talk about Black women first.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has been tied to status and trying to elevate yourself. And so just the things that Black people do or have done, some, of course, some, I'm not talking all, to get away from their Blackness is sad. Like just the spending of the money and the
but we're
self-hate.
animals. I mean, not Black people, like I'm talking about human beings or animals. We're the human animal. We have animal instincts, survival skills. And that's the thing. I think that's why animals have camouflage. A lot of animals camouflage. They got to fit into the surroundings.
For safety.
For safety reasons. Black people
emotional safety,
out.
Physical safety, financial safety.
We're the most unique people. I mean, we all have like so much of the same DNA, but we're the most unique people. We're easy to single out. And I think that's the only reason. And it's because of that animal fear. Like,
I want to talk to some white people.
Do it. Call your husband in.
we gotta get some just preferably white people we don't know, because I feel like everybody we know knows us at least. So you know, like I don't know, but I would love to hear differing perspectives in a respectful way about this very topic, about just about
like,
it all.
What do you think of? Because I've had this conversation with friends, like just on little slights, like those microaggressions. It's like, are people doing that intentionally, or do they actually not even see you? Like,
is that in their DNA? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that in them? And I do think for a lot of people it is. I've been thinking on that, and a lot of, you know, in the shower, while I'm driving, just little times when I'm alone, about times in my life where microaggressions or little comments, I don't know if it was intentional, from childhood to this day, that remind me that I am other, I am Black, I am something else. And I look at those people, and I don't think that it's an intentional one I can think of, I think was I'm gonna hurt you because you hurt me kind of thing. But I wonder if it's just ingrained in them, like, this is reality, so I'm speaking about it, and I don't think it's offensive because it's true. That kind of a thing, you know, like and I was too young to be calling people out. This is, you know, way back, you know. I wish I could go back.
I'd be like, oh, I wish I could have told them.
Yeah, 20, 30 years later, now I'm like, ooh, girl.
Now I'm the asshole because I actually speak my mind.
And then I look them up on Facebook, and I'm like, yeah, it fits. You standing there with your American flag behind you and your gun, and you're trying to, you know, it fits. It makes sense. But
you should write them. That'll be in a podcast.
I'm gonna start making reels and telling stories about these people. I'm not gonna use their names.
Yeah, you should be like, would you like to come on and apologize to me, bitch?
What is this? Some Sally Jesse Raphael, right? Jenny Jones. Remember they would have the bullies come on and all the people come on, and
then the guy got killed, and that kind of ruined everything. Oh shit! What is she doing? Ricky Lake is back, I heard.
Really?
Yeah.
She's different though. She's changed. She's changed a lot. Like her viewpoints on things, the way she. I mean, it's been 20 years. How many years? 30
by now.
But I don't know. I don't understand. Just bringing it back to the beginning, because I think we're coming up on time. I just don't understand how there's all these people waking up trying to cry themselves to death over a comment by an ignorant person.
Yeah, that
anti-Semitic comment. Yeah, like to. If you're feeling that, imagine what Black people feel. Like that's. Every time they see somebody getting shot.
Oh, I heard Nuri. I woke up here in Nuri. I didn't cry. Like,
yeah,
it's like, you know, this person, something needs to be done. But personally, like, I didn't feel any kind of way.
But I'm feeling like, do I not get the history? Just like my husband doesn't get the history of what I feel when I think about what my dad has gone through and what people before me have gone through. Maybe I'm not getting the pain. I still feel pain and empathy when we talk about the Holocaust, but I'm not getting that, you know what I mean? Like I will never know what that feels like to be in a Jewish person's shoes, to feel that is part of your history, or people came for you like that, you know? That's a different, just like people probably won't know what it's like to be a descendant of slaves, or to have that, to know that that's, you know, not that many generations ago, that's where you came from.
But people are still going around like, trying to make slaves look like apprenticeship, not chattel slavery.
Yeah, because they're ignorant and they don't know the difference between chattel slavery and indentured servitude.
Yep.
They keep talking about these Irish
yeah,
people. You had a way out.
Yep. Exactly.
So I don't know.
It's just like there's no escape. Every time I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be a fresh day. And then it's like,
day.
oh.
It's gonna be a fresh day or I woke up again.
Right.
One or the
that's
other.
usually every day, but I try to make it a fresh day, and then it's always something, and it's like, yeah, we can dig a hole. What does that do? Like,
that's
so,
the
yeah, maybe we need to
brainstorming.
talk to
How do we
people.
do it? I think you're doing good work though, trying to get a community group together, reaching out so you could share your stories and share who you are with each other.
Yeah, I'll keep trying.
All right. Well,
all right, girl.
I'll talk to you later. Hopefully on happier things.
Yep. All right. See you. Sorry.
All right.
About
Love you.
this, but,
That's okay.
Love you too. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Two Girls Shooting the Shit with Em and Mo. Please enjoy this mindful moment. Until the color of your skin is the target, you will never understand. Angela Davis.